A beautiful, absolutely warm and sunrise to all. Welcome to my channel, your channel, our channel, where our thoughts and opinions become clear under the sun's view. Please, let's have an enlightening discussion without the thunder. And I do hope all are well or getting well. And we are deepening our thoughts, words, and actions, our energy, frequency, and vibration. I send the sun's light to warm and brighten your days. I do understand these times may bring forth more stress, and it seems there's no room for duress. However, continue to live and do what you must, as the time still moves from dawn to dusk. I so want to thank you all for stopping by and listening to things of interest to me. No dollars, only cents gained. No nonsense obtained. Or maybe a little. Okay. I would have posted the Our Language segment with Cece, so you can press play, listen, share in her little moment. It's highly appreciated. You may also give your feedbacks here, as again, the comments on that post will be closed. Okay? The topic is open words or action, which holds more power. Is it the lightning? Is it the thunder which sends shivers down your spine? Personally, I prefer the thunder. I can't bear to see the lightning. So yeah, I'm a thunder girl, but I love the enlightening. Okay, so I did make mention my last post of the most interesting event that took place, and by my observation, it appears to still be the most interesting event taking place. It's referenced to the church, the situation with the church, and the cold church, and what unfolded. Oh boy. So, my people of this universe, again, we still we have to pay attention. There are so many little things passing us by, and they go by in such a subtle way that we don't even notice how greatly important they are going to become in short time, very, very short time. So we need to open our eyes. It is a time when the veil must be removed. We must have foresight, hindsight, middle sight, and every single sight. 2020 has gone, and 2020, when you speak about 2020, it's usually in terms of vision. So 2020 vision. When you have a 2020 vision, it's usually that you are seeing better. The sight is a little bit clearer, right? Are we having a 2020 vision? Are we expanding our vision? Are we seeing beyond, way beyond the horizon? Because things are unfolding. They are unfolding if they haven't already been unfolded. I do know that we're still going through the so-called it is what it is. pandemic, the COVID-19 frustration, and we will come through, hopefully. We will come through. And in coming and getting through this, for me, one of the main criterias would be unity. As a collective, as a whole. Michael Jackson speaks about the man in the mirror, and that's where it usually starts. We really don't have any control over anything beyond us. So once we make the change with us, within self, then everything is reflected from there, right? As the saying goes, you are what you eat. So whatever you eat is shown. You can see it by looking, right? Well, it's the same way with your own personal life, with you. Think it, speak it, achieve it, do it, say it, whatever it may be. So the topic, words or action, which holds more power? For me, I think they both hold their own magnitude of precedence. Many may not believe in magic, but it's in our words. It's in our words. If you think of going as far back as your mind can take you to your childhood, and you start school, and the first thing you start to learn in school is words. As a matter of fact, you start to learn that from home. You gotta say it a certain way. You gotta pronounce it a certain way, and all that resonates with magic. Magic is your pronunciation. Magic is you conjuring. Magic is you making your sentence, creating your own sentence. Is that what we're doing? Are we creating? Are we using our words to magically create our own sentence? To either diminish or excel our lives without even knowing it, without even understanding it? Speak it into being. You're at school and you learn spelling. You're learning a spell. You're learning to spell. You know, these things go by, and I'm quite aware we don't see it. We don't take the time to analyze and realize and observe the simple little things that are coming into our space. And because we don't take notice of it, it comes and it either builds automatically or it destroys. And even after it passes, we're still unable to identify exactly what took place. But we know something happened. We see it, we feel it. Right? So for me, they both hold action words. Yeah, action words. Both hold their own levels of power. And power itself, it's what it I guess it's what has been sought throughout eternity. They'll tell you knowledge is power, land is power, action speaks louder than words. Words are powerful. So power obviously has been with us and is with us. There's nothing wrong. Don't get it flipped. There isn't anything wrong with power. It's what we use the power for that then has the deciding view, the undecided view. Because power can do. Land is power. Okay? So if you have land, is that a bad thing? Not necessarily, but if you're going to hoard all the land for yourself, then I guess that's a bad thing. If you're going to have all the land and not put it to any use, you're not going to farm the land, you're just going to let it stay there and no one else has access to it, then for me that can't be a good thing, right? So, food for thought. Words or action, which, in your view, holds the most power? When we think of the state, the government, the higher entities, they have great power. And they show this power in force. They enforce. So they enforce rules, regulations, laws, and they have a force in which to enforce their powers. And we either willingly abide by it or we stand against it. They usually say in terms of power, there are certain foods that you can eat and it helps to build a power within. Then I've read about this thing called a third eye. Maybe some Cyclops thing or something. Anyway, I've read this thing about the third eye and how powerful this third eye is, or should be, if truth be it. And the third eye, that is said, it's in medical terms, it's called the pineal gland, or like some type of a cone-shaped gland within the body. And where it's located, there are certain things that we eat that calcifies the pineal gland. There are certain chemical substances from the things that we consume that calcifies this gland. And one would ask the question, why? But this is something that you can go and look further into yourself. So my thought in that is the absolute power that we maybe might perhaps have. Is it that this gland, because it's calcified, we are not having the true ability to see as clearly as we should? Is this taken away from our true self? Maybe. Maybe not. Okay? So, again, power seems to exist all around us, yet so many are powerless. The words present the message, but the action gets the message across. My universal people, this is an interesting world, an interesting place, and it's given us an interesting taste. The last thing this world needs, in my view, is another savior, another hero, more legends and myths, as nothing seems to change. And is it that because we are in a cycle, this cycle, is this how it's supposed to continue throughout and forever into infinity? Is it? Maybe. Maybe not. Now, I do want to extend on that though, because there's this movie I have watched. I am a fan of movies. There is a movie I've watched. It's called Infinite. Don't worry, I had an argument. Not an argument. I had a little discussion with somebody in regards to the word. So it's either infinite or infinite. But the movie, right? In this movie, the hero he was once a hero because he has been transitioning throughout lifetimes over and over and over and over and over again, right? And for each transition, he was once a hero. But at some point, I guess he got tired of transitioning. Now, I really found this movie fascinating, but watch it if you can, okay? So, this hero turned into a villain only because he became tired of going through the same cycle over and over and over again. Now, I understood and I understand what he must have been feeling and wanting so much to have that change, that he changed from being the good guy to the so-called bad guy. Now, his method for resolving this issue to me was bad, was terrible. And I got emotional as I could not truly balance whether he was wrong or right. But then I realized he had the choice. He decided to make a choice for all rather than just for himself. And that's where I found my answer. We all have a choice individually. As I said, the man in the mirror. That's our individual choice. That is our space. That is our place. That is where all our control must be, must start, must begin. Once we become cognizant of that, there are many of us who think that we have no control. And what we do is we relinquish it. We turn it over to some other person, thing, corporation, company, statue, state. If we give that away, if we let go of that, what do you have? What's left for you? You think of having property, a piece of land, right? That's yours. And fight, you would fight to the very end to keep that if someone were to come and just take it away. But think of your own personal self. Why would you just willingly give up control over that? Yet something that is transmissible, something that really never belonged to you personally, speaking of the land itself, never really belonged to you and can never really belong to you. Why would you put up so much fight for that against the fight for yourself? Why don't we trust ourselves? Why don't we trust our thoughts, trust our mind, trust our body, trust our soul? Why? Food for thought. As I said, there's so much to discuss. So much, so much, so much, so much. It's unimaginable. Okay, it's unimaginable. But please have further discussions within your own arena in regards to the topic. As I said, I'm a great fan of movies. I've watched so much movies, and we act powerful, but sound powerless. Then we sound powerful, but act powerless. So much questions, so much confusion. After watching Ant-Man movie, yeah, Avengers fan, ooh, Marvel's fan, okay? And it was after watching it for like the 100th time, I finally started to wonder about the atmosphere, what's in it, the dust particles, the water vapors, the air I breathe. And where did Miss Pym get clothes and food and water to survive in the quantum realm? That was a joke. But I started to think and look deeper into certain things. What are we breathing in? What are we taking in? Are these things in any way, shape, or form changing the natural balance, changing the natural nature of things? In biology, there's so much talk right now. There's much talk, but I don't think there is much discussion on the levels that it should be regarding our body, our space, a decision for our health, our strength, and well-being. We are now going through a pandemic, and we have been for almost 2 years now, right? And I've not heard much discussion, much talk, much in the areas or avenues that you would expect it in regards to our health, how to boost, how to get well, be well, stay well. I don't know if I learned it, but I do remember going through high school doing biology, and we were told that our body has its own built in defense mechanism. And when I think about that, I'm like, okay, so my body has literally developed its own security system. Do we trust that security system? Are we trusting that security system? What is causing this natural, spectacular, technological advancement of the body itself having its own defense? Why has that defense broken down? What has caused the relapse, the collapse of that defense? Why is it no longer applicable? Why can't we any longer trust our body to defend, fight, and protect? Why? We now have to be turned into different methods of trust, relinquishing what was already built for us. We walk around with it every day, we use it every day, we go through so many different things with it every day. But when it comes on to certain things, we let go and let something else. Is that a part of the balance? Is that a part of the unbalance? My people, within this universe, within this ether, within this net, within this web of confusion, within this space of knowledge and understanding, let us look deeper. Let us think deeper. Let us act deeper. Let us speak. Let us act. Let us do, think what we know to be done. I promise I won't keep it long. Again, there's so much left to be said. But I'll try to continue in another segment. So that is it for this day. I hope you had fun, and I hope you felt warm. I hope you'll think further and look further. We are all one connection under the sun's view. Thank you all so much for stopping by and sharing this moment. It is highly, greatly, and super stupendously appreciated. Love, laughter, sunlight, health, wealth, and understanding to all. Ashe.